The problem comes.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Sorry, we're a few minutes late. Technical difficulties, user error, as it turns out. But welcome to Iron Minds. Good to see you, fellas. We got Nick on the bike, Pedro on the walk, Michael on the walk as well. What's up, fellas? Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. Let's get ready to
Happy
rip the
Tuesday.
lid off.
This is the 12th Tuesday of the year. We are almost a quarter of the way through 2026, boys. How crazy is that?
We're rolling strong, baby. Feeling good. Finally in a March in like a lion.
Nice.
We're freaking fired up over here.
Dude, the month is half over already, too. Like, the clock is moving way too fast this year.
It is going really fast, that is for sure. We got spring break next week. Got a little trip to the Carolinas, boys. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Oh, can't wait, fellas.
James Taylor crushes that song for somebody who's not from Carolina.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I got to tell you something. I've been getting into records, to vinyl records. I'm showing my age here. I'm getting into old things. And on my way back from Nashville 2 weekends ago on Sunday, I found a flea market just outside of Paducah, Kentucky. And I found James Taylor's greatest hits on vinyl.
Oh, wow.
Going dumpster diving in the crates at the flea market. And I felt like that was my biggest score of the weekend. So yeah, James Taylor is the bomb, that's for sure. But
what I want to see is your audio set up in your car with your record player and your 10,000 to 100,000 milliamp battery that you're using it here.
got it in the passenger seat as I'm driving the Jeep down the highway. Oh man, yeah. No, but it's been fun to listen to. Like my been exposing my kids to it and their friends to it. Man, it's good. James Taylor had something going on for sure. Yeah, for somebody not from Carolina, he sure sang it like he was he was a big part of his life. So
now, if you don't mind, just because I only got a few minutes today, but I just want to tell you guys, I should have actually coordinated this, but I got to finish what I'm doing. I got to meet Steve Secca last night.
Oh, did you? Where was he?
Remember, he's from Canada and he's part of InExpress, and as of a week ago, he wasn't going to come to the conference.
Right.
And I guess
he's got a newborn.
What's that?
He's got a newborn.
Yeah. So he decided just the other day, and he's a friend of mine. We did some coaching together, and he's a big part of the reason I'm here. So when he surprised me showing up, that was very cool. I should have dragged his ass out, but
yeah, that is cool. He's got a podcast he's been doing as well. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Oh yeah, that was
a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great dude adding to the zeitgeist of changing the culture of health and wellness in this industry. He's in the fight.
That's a good way of saying it. If he's not watching right now, make sure he knows you said that. So yeah, I want to interject that. I thought that was really cool to I've still only met Lombard no, I met Trey. I met Robert. Never mind, just kidding. Pedro, I haven't met you yet.
Yeah, eventually, right? Eventually, we'll all four of us will be in the same place at the same time, and we'll be able to do this live together one morning.
I clearly didn't make much of an impression on Nick. It sounds.
I know. I was just trying to think
in person.
I'm like,
I was trying to go over that, Trey. Thanks for pointing that out.
I've actually met Trey the most out of anybody in this group.
Those are tears on Lombard's face. That's the rain. That's the rain.
I mean, I introduced the guy on stage. It wasn't like we were just hanging out at the bar. Like I introduced him on stage, and this is the thanks I get. I guess that's how it goes.
Trey who?
I'm gonna go back to the sleep and memory thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but Steve is one of the best, that's for sure. So you're at InExpress speaking, is that correct, Nick?
Yeah, their franchise conference is in Fort Lauderdale this weekend. And I'll tell you something that was really, really cool. Back when I was at Blue Grace in 2009, they were a partner of ours. And so I actually flew out to Salt Lake to do some LTL sales training at that conference. That conference was like, I don't know, the back room of the Howard Johnson's that doubled as like a Gamblers Anonymous room or something. And I can't wait to like celebrate their growth. Like I saw the room last night. You know, I mean, it's just, you get it. You've been around for a while. You've seen some of these companies and what they've been able to do. And it's just, it's exciting. And it's exciting to even have a small role in it, even if it's just getting to show up and celebrate with them every couple of decades.
That is cool that you've got the history from, back when you were at Blue Grace to talk about that as well and really fire up the room. I know you're going to fire up the room.
Oh, hopefully I just remember everything.
Yeah,
I know.
kind of brings it to a quote I saw last night. A friend of mine had posted in one of their videos. That event you're going to, it's got a long history. And you talk about the pros and cons of anything, and this could be the business, that event, your health, your fitness. The cons are progress and results take time. The pros are the time is happening anyways.
It's actually and I love that quote too, because the 4-step, I'm talking about the system to turn obstacles into actions. And the 4-step is where we talk about the things that we need. And we finally remove that excuse of how long it's going to take, because to your point, the time's taking it anyway. So now we can plan it. We know things take time. Plan it out, plan to achieve it, put the time in.
Yep.
On that note, gents, I got to wrap up and do another run through.
Nice. Hey, Dan, have a great speech today.
I'm sorry.
Who's that?
Oh, Trey. Sorry, I forgot about you.
Oh man, that's
Fire
good.
up the room, dude. Get through and fired up. I know you're going to do a good job on that. Send us a little clip. Are they going to record this bad boy for you?
They are not having it professionally recorded. I will have it unprofessionally recorded, though.
Well, send us a clip of the unprofessional recording when you get a chance.
You got it. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
That'd be great. All right. See you, buddy.
Hey, go ahead, Nick.
Nick firing up the crowd. I love it. It's going to be, I'm glad he's getting a chance to do that. That's going to be great. And shout out to Steve at the conference. Steve, we need to get you on the show again. That would be great. Boys, I'm tempted to try a pull-up today. It's in my head. I want to try a pull-up today. I may have to do that.
Well, let's go.
Sometimes dreams are best just left dreams, Trey.
No, Pedro, I'm feeling it today, man. I feel like I got to give it a shot. See how we're doing. See how the abdomen scars doing.
Yeah, I wanted to jump on here this morning, especially because I've been having a conversation with this gentleman on Instagram. He's actually from Australia, and it's like, and I feel like Australia's culture can't be too dissimilar to parts of the U.S. And he was asking me questions about how he should stay locked in. And now this guy's a little bit younger than me, but he's a business owner, he's an entrepreneur, and he's reaching out about what he can do. And he was explaining about he had started a business not too long ago. I believe it's in the financial space. I'd have to go back in our messages, but he was he was big on talking about how because the business he's in with it's definitely it's bogged down with a lot of it's so much of what goes on in the company's culture is circumvented around food and alcohol. And I mean, one of the first things I told him, I was like, you have an opportunity to lead by example in what you're doing with your company, with where you're getting the food from, how you're meeting, how you guys are socializing, what's most important when it comes to your company's culture and everything you're doing. And it's just a full circle moment, because here this guy is, I mean, he probably makes, he makes some very good money and everything, and he's wildly successful, yet there's still this missing link going on where he had been athletic in the past, he had been very active, and now it's changed, and he feels it inside him that he needs to be doing better. And I was like, you have the opportunity, and this is, it kind of fired me up because I talk about changing the culture all the time, and this is an example. Like, this guy is the leader of his company, and I was like, you have the opportunity to change how you guys have happy hours, socials. You can change the food, and when you tell the company, if you just declare to your company, like, hey, this is where we're going to get, like, oh, this lunch today, it's coming from here. Or instead of like happy hour today, instead of going to this place and getting pints or whatever it is they do, we're going to do XYZ. And I can almost guarantee, if he says, like, this is what I need to do, this is what we need to do, this is for you guys. I'm not saying let's not have fun, XYZ, but if he's able to lead from the front on where and when they're going to do things with or without alcohol, where and when, what type of food they're going to get, they can do it. And I mean, anybody has that that opportunity.
Yeah, dude, I love that. Leadership really starts at the top. Really set the tone, as they say. Be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Set the temperature. And I love that,
Yeah.
fellas. I just did my first 4 regular pull-ups since my surgery.
See that, Pedro?
Yeah, bro. Let's go. Let's
Feels so
go.
good.
You should,
Feels so
man.
good.
It should feel good.
I mean, my
It's been a
shoulders
big-
hurt, but
been a road
my
for you, man.
belly does not. I know, man. Like my scar does not hurt, which is great.
Who would have known something that sounds so sissified as tennis elbow would be such a thing, man.
Ooh, yeah,
But,
that was exciting. Yeah, keep going, Lombard. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say I had the opportunity to go on another, I was going on another podcast recently as well, where I was kind of, beating the health and fitness drum, and I was doing this. This was last week, I think it was Friday. Hey, I had jumped on it, and I kind of, I don't think it's the first time I said it, but I was explaining about, or I was basically talking about the culture and everything like that, and I just asked the question on it. I was just like, do you think if you ran like, if somebody was running a brokerage and every single person, and I was like, in your entire brokerage or your just entire team in general, your entire team was marathoners, what are the odds? Like, how much turnover do you think you have? How productive do you think those employees are? And not saying that employees or anything need to be, but just imagine if they all were in some way, shape, or form, or they were doing high rocks, or they were doing this, they were doing what we do on Tuesday mornings. Like, if that was your entire staff, do you think you'd have as many call outs, being sick, this XYZ? Like, the chances, the percentage of what your employees' productivity has to skyrocket if that's the page that everybody's on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And just change the culture. Just little decisions at a time. Like he said, like, they're going to order in food, ordering something with salad and high protein and lower carbs just for that meal, right? People will typically eat what's put in front of them, especially when it's free. So you get a chance to make an impact like that. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like when I think at long-term goal and what it looks like, I think back of when I went to this, I went to an Ambest conference at the end of 2024, and I'll never forget this one guy. I was talking to this one guy, just telling him about who I am, and, like, going into my story, and he kept trying to, and I know he was probably doing it just for, like, as like a test, or he was trying to maybe do something on me, but he kept asking me, he's like, so what are you selling? What are you selling? He kept asking me what I was selling. I was like, I'm not selling. I was like, there's nothing that I am selling. I was like, I'm not here to sell anything. I mean, I was like, I was like, the one thing I am selling is morality. Is simply my words and the morality that comes behind it. That's what I'm selling. Like, I'm sorry, but not everything in this world has to do with B2B sales. Not everything has to do with having to make money or get clients or source more leads or do this XYZ. Like, I'm not selling anything. I'm delivering a wake up call that you're going to feel like absolute garbage. You're going to become diabetic. You're going to, all these bad things will happen to you if you decide to just not make a few little changes. It doesn't require being a marathoner. That's not what I'm saying. But just the little things we talk about on the show and that I put in the newsletter and that me and Mark and Project 61 talk about, if you just don't make these simple lifestyle changes, then you will wind up becoming a burden onto other people. And I'm sorry, I can't sell that. I can't package that and put it into something that you can just buy. You have to just realize that eventually you're going to slow down. And especially for somebody, maybe you are in a, maybe people at this conference that Nick is going to, or maybe the firm that gentleman in Australia is working at, is when you're in your twilight of your career, you're going to feel like absolute garbage and you're going to be run down because in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you're like, screw it, it's stupid, health is dumb. I like to party this. I can't remain disciplined. And I think if you can't buy into some of the stuff that we do talk about, then it's you saying, I don't have control. I don't have control. I don't want to control it. I do too much already. And it's it's a cope. It's a cope. That's all.
Yeah.
But I had to come on here and drill that in this morning.
You're selling a better life is what you're selling.
Yeah,
Selling
that's
a better
it.
life, and nobody has to buy it. Nobody has to buy that. Everybody gets a choice, but you're selling a better life.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't want a better life? You know what I'm saying? All right.
What you up to, Pedro? What you up?
Going for
What's
4
the good
more. Yeah,
word?
Pedro. Talk to
Yeah,
us, brother.
Really not much of an update, bro. I mean, just doing the whole thing, man. Just working, remodeling my house, trying to stay active when I can, where I can, which, I mean, most of that's just excuses, like, let's be honest, but doing good. I mean, I am maintaining my weight. I had that check-in not too long ago, which for some reason I have another one this week. I don't know why, but anyway, my numbers are great as far as my health, man. I am still on an incredible track. I've done a complete 180-degree turn from, probably going to be dead by the time I'm 50 to, who knows, to live to be 150. You never know. Genetic research could improve a lot. So, man, I'm just wonderful. I really don't know what else to say besides life is good. I'm good. Only thing that I guess could improve would be sales, right? With my broker. Just a hard time out there right now for some reason. Some people are killing it. Some people are doing okay. I'm the one doing okay. So other than that, spectacular, man. Spectacular.
Dude, glad to hear that you're hitting good numbers with your health. Even maybe in a little bit of a lull, like you said, like maybe not being as active as many days a week as you would like to be. It's all about just keeping some of the progress going. Especially in seasons where maybe you experience sickness, like our house, we're experiencing sickness like crazy right now. Everybody is. It's like, how can we get outside? How can we keep getting that sun, that vitamin D? How can we just do a little bit, here and there? And so glad you're hitting your numbers, dude. That's good.
Yeah. No, man, I am doing, I mean, all my things, my numbers for all my health, they're wonderful, man. And, even though I don't get in all the activity that I'm on, like I said, it's an excuse, and it's me putting my time other places. I'm really focused on my media stuff for the lounge. I'm focused on my brokering thing. Like, I have goals this year that I have to set, or that I set for myself that I'm trying to reach. And I knew that I was going to have to take some other places, not making that the overall excuse, but just saying it's not like I'm sitting my fat butt on the couch, popping bonbons in my mouth. but I feel, like I said this a few weeks ago, is that, keeping track of your nutrition, your macros, I think that is just as important, and because you also want to be aware of what you're putting in your body, right? Lombard says all the time, it's kind of what he was just talking about with this gentleman in Australia. I mean, you could be pumping out, 80,000 steps a day, but if all you're doing is putting trash into your body, you're not really helping it. So that's been my focus, man, is really watching my food intake. What am I putting in my body? Good proteins. I've been eating a lot more tuna and stuff. Drinking a lot of fruit smoothies. Loving the smoothies. Are helping me stay full. Not eating sugary stuff, and it gives me that sugar, so I don't get a sweet tooth so much. And pounding water, just staying with the basic principles, I guess you
Yeah.
could say, So that way, even though not as active, man, at least what is going in my body is good stuff,
Yeah. You ever eat those protein sticks? Like beef
Dude,
jerky, like their protein
nope,
sticks?
I can't eat if it's a protein snack. I don't like them. Those things taste. I have tried all the chips, all the bars. Dude, they
Yeah.
taste like trash. I don't want fake chocolate. If I want freaking chocolate, I'm gonna go eat a
Well, I
damn
mean, like
Hershey's bar.
the ones that
No,
are
even
more like
the
beef jerky. Those
yeah,
to me,
no, I have, dude. Those two,
those are
they
great
taste
snacks.
funny. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it's got the extra protein in it, but every one of them has the same like weird aftertaste to it, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
There's
I have been able to.
there's a protein bar. It's not by First Form, but it's by somebody else. I found it to be actually pretty good. But I know what you're saying. Sometimes it's just like you feel like you're eating protein. It's not that much flavor to it. But these were,
Yeah,
I gotta figure out what they are, dude. I gotta figure out what they are because they're actually pretty good.
I'm honestly at the thing where I just add protein powder, like random shit like chocolate milk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to a smoothie or something. Yep.
Yeah, dude. Because it's powder. I always get vanilla, so it doesn't taste bad. You throw that in pretty much anything. So, but yeah, no, man, I'm wonderful, dude. I partially finished my kitchen last night. Now my wife has all functioning cabinets and drawers.
I bet she loves that.
Oh yeah, she's ecstatic.
Dude, putting cabinets up can definitely be a workout, man. So, get those up there.
Dude, I learned so much from doing it. I've never done cabinetry at all, man. I'm like, oh, I know how to do carpentry. This is easy. Yeah, no, completely different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. There's little tricks of the trade on how to get them to
There it is.
put together. Yeah.
I'll tell you, when it comes to building stuff, I made this video on Instagram about these two saints who are like the Navy SEALs of Orthodox saints, and one of them was a clockmaker. And again, this like Orthodoxy came to the U.S. It came to North America via Alaska from Russian Orthodox. And this one guy, he was a clockmaker. He was building clocks for Native Americans, the Aleuts living in Alaska, and he built the clocks. He just lived in the tundra, and he built clocks out of what was in the woods, and by tracking weather patterns and everything. That's how he was able to build a clock out of nothing. And
wow.
Just when it comes to, and look how far we've going from remaking remaking cabinets, doing all this stuff, and it's just imagine building a clock, and all you have is just whatever's in the Alaskan tundra, and you just know how to do that.
I wish I could do that, but I'll tell you what, Lombard. On that note, my thing that I'm most proud about myself or makes me feel best, and I feel like this is lost on. I'm just gonna say men, because I'll just say men in general, but doing things with my hands, man, building things, right? Like we just seem to be a society of destruction nowadays, but man, I love building things. I just think there's something with taking your hands, those 10 digits, right? And like you said, from this clockmaker, taking something that's just a pile of wood or a pile of metal, and then when you're done with it, it's something, right? It's a piece of art. It could be a door, a cabinet, or a little piece of art. But I don't know, man. I think there's something to be said about working with your hands, right? I guess you could say the same thing about fitness, right? Because you're using your hands to work on your body, to improve your body. So I don't know, man. Something special about your hands, man. Them 8 fingers and them 2 thumbs, right?
I've always enjoyed remodeling. Because I feel like there's a lot of gratification in that, because it's not something that happens right away. It takes time. It's a process. You got to project it out. I'm doing a project right now in the bathroom, our second story, and the taper's taping right now, and then I get to do all the tile work and put in the toilet and the vanity, and we'll have a functioning bathroom, which is pretty cool. But there's something cool about working with your hands, and just being able to say that. It's just something cool about that for sure. No doubt about it.
It's sought after. It's a sought after thing that people find it interesting. When that's either somebody's hobby, but there's something deeply philosophical behind that, which is why I'm not as it's why I'm not as rabid of a believer and lover of all things artificial intelligence. Because again, I look at how people feel in their current roles and what they're doing and whatever it is versus what used to get people out of bed 500 years ago to do anything. You think about, even think about Michelangelo, Sistine Chapel, like the painting of the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo was a sculptor. He preferred sculpting. That was his preferred. He did not want to paint the Sistine Chapel, but he was essentially kind of like, somewhat forced by the Pope to do it because he's like, they needed Michelangelo to do it, and he did it anyways. And this is in like the twilight of his life too. Like he's getting ready to freaking hang it up, and he did it anyway. And that's like sculpting was his thing, and he didn't even like painting, but yet he did it anyways. And it's like, and look at what the result is. Like you look at the Sistine Chapel, especially if you see it in person, you're like, it's unbelievable, like exactly how a human laid on his back for 10 plus hours a day just to paint that thing.
It's incredible. Yeah. But there's something about like you think about the progress that he saw along the way, but then for us to look at that and say, wow, the time he put into that, and it's there. Like, everybody can look at it and view it, and it's beautiful. There's just something special about creating with your hands and building. Something really special about that, All right, boys, I've done 12 pull-ups, regular pull-ups, no chair, no assist. I'm jacked about that, dude. That's exciting. Let's go. 12 pull-ups. That means a lot to me. It's not much.
It's all better than zero.
Dude,
I was just about to say, I love better than my zero.
Well, I've been nervous because, with the scar being vertical, like as I stretch out my stomach, it's been a little sore just to do that. And I've been nervous is probably the wrong word. I'm going to say scared. I've been scared of just doing pull-ups just because of that feeling in the scar. But that felt good. I'm sure my shoulders are going to feel it tomorrow, my back, but that's what it's all about. Man, like I've been nervous. I've been a little reluctant about that. I've been kind of making excuses not to do it, but I'm fired up this morning. Got that done. That's good.
Yeah, dude, you should be. And you might be a little sore, which is also a good reminder. That's a lot of times why people stop doing what they're doing, especially in the running world. I was just talking about a good friend of mine, a really excellent personal trainer who's a phenomenal at strength training and keeping your glutes really strong. He's not really a runner himself. He was a high jumper in college, and he's just started getting into running because he's trying to do some hard stuff. And this is just for anybody out there who is like, whoever gets deterred by some sort of pain or discomfort, is like your body will do these hard tasks like run long distance, 3-5 miles, do pull-ups. But the only reason it's either hurts after or you're incredibly sore is because you don't do it. Just like anything else. Like if I was to just go work with a highway construction crew, I wouldn't know anything, and I'd probably feel pretty defeated. And your body's the same way when it comes to movement. And so when it comes to stuff like running, it's like your body, your cardiovascular system can take whatever it is you're doing, but your body is not used to the impact and what it can do. And it's the same thing with anything else when it comes to trying new things. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to hurt. It's not going to feel good because you are not used to it. You are not doing it. It's the same way as if you're wearing as if you're trying out a new fashion look. Nobody's seen you in it. You've never seen yourself in it. So it doesn't look the same when you get some sort of newer clothes, you're trying some sort of newer style. That newer things, if you don't do it, you're not going to feel comfortable doing it until it becomes a habit, until it becomes part of your lifestyle.
Dude, that's exactly what I tell my daughters. I say, listen, if you're sore, not injured, but if you're sore, it means you did something. Like that's a good sign. It means you actually did something. And the more you do it, the less sore you get. But even if you're used to running 5 miles a day, for example, and you run it again, you might feel a little sore the next day. But again, that means you're doing something. You're actually using your body. Your muscles are recovering. They're being torn and recovering, and that's a good thing. So, yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta get off here. I got work to do, unfortunately.
Appreciate you, dude. Go get him, brother.
I love you guys. Be good.
Get after it today, fellas.
All right, Lombard. We're going to close this thing out, man. Hey, it's always good to see you, my brother. You got Ironman work that you're doing right now. What is on the agenda for this week? Where are you at on everything with the swim, with the bike, with the run?
Yeah, I'll get in a swim this week. I know I'll hop on the trainer today. Got about an hour on that. I had some long stuff over the weekend. Nice that, I did on Sunday. There's 3 hours on that trainer. Nice aerobic workout. I got a friend of mine who's dabbling in some coaching, so he's at no cost. He's giving me some programming on Training Peaks that I'm just following. And this smart trainer is definitely going to be the differentiator and how well I improve on the bike this year. I already know I'm going to get faster from it. The F1 track, the Circuits of the Americas is
Yep.
opening tonight on Tuesday nights for bike night as well. So people can go in
Oh,
and you can
nice.
clip
You
in
go
and
ride
ride
the
on
track
the
with your bike. Nice.
yeah, you can ride on the racetrack. So I'll go there later tonight. Yeah, Wednesdays are kind of my off days. I coach early AM, and then we're in the midst of Great Lent, and so I've been going to a thing for church on Wednesday nights. So Wednesdays are kind of my off day, and then Thursday running, I'll be seeing Mark Manera and Jeremy from Project
Yeah,
61
you
this
will.
Saturday. Yep, we're seeing him
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
Saturday for something really cool that we're putting together with Ambest. So I'm excited for that. Got a lot of good stuff coming, and then flights are booked for Mid America Truck Show. I'm actually next week. I'm going to Chicago for like a cup of coffee. Basically, I'm going up there because a gentleman from Instagram who I met, who's a driver who's been motivated by his content. He signed up for his first road race. He's doing an 8 kilometer race. And I told him, I said, if he does it, that I'm going to, I'm going to come up there with him and support him. So I'm going up to Chicago on that Saturday and Sunday. He's going to run Sunday morning. I'll fly back Sunday night. So I'm excited to support somebody who, my content made them believe in themselves. So I'm going to go out there and support them. So I'm stoked.
Nice, dude. That's awesome, man. I love to hear the progress. Love to hear you're going to get to hang out with Mark and Jeremy too. That's awesome, man. I'll see Mark on Thursday for our normal weekly hike this week, so I'll get to see him before you do, which will be great. It'll be a ton to get a chance to hang out, man. Well, let's close this thing out, man. As we talked about, it's always good to find your tribe, find your group. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So do that out there. Get going. It's spring. Get outside. Get some vitamin D. Get that sun going. Take a walk. Take the dog out for a walk. And we'll see you guys right back here next Tuesday on Iron Minds. Peace out. See you guys. Let's go.